Good morning. Ah, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah, what a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks, you know. I'm just gonna check what we've got here, if it's popped up and everything that I've gone through properly. Possibly, hopefully. I'm hoping. Okay, up. Yep, there I am. Ta-da. Woohoo. Yep. So today's pop-up live is basically so I can have a brew with you. Please just don't look at that. My almond milk went a bit funny this morning, but it's still drinkable. It's all good. So, it's a brew. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a mad couple of weeks. There's been a lot going on. Anyone who knows about what's been going on in the last few months knows that we've had some pretty awful house sitters upstairs that have basically put me on my uppers and made life very difficult when it comes to filming and lives and such, and sleeping and living life in general. They're gone. Our neighbor is back. And honestly, the difference is, I can't even tell you how awesome the difference is. We've been getting proper sleep until a couple of nights ago. So all last week, I was supposed to be sowing seeds and the heavens just opened. The temperature dropped to below 5 degrees. And I was not really able to get out and start doing things, which really kind of sucked and gave me a bit of a it's made me feel really kind of bleh. Because I haven't been able to get out and do things, and that really has sucked. So this week was to be seed sowing week, but I have a lot of appointments that were happening in this week that I wasn't expecting, and they've literally just turned up, and they're things that we've been waiting months and months and months, and in some cases years for. So I wasn't going to let them go. One of them was the occupational therapist from York Housing. So I had to see her. She had to see me. I had to talk to her. We needed an update on what was going on with my health and our general needs as far as moving are concerned. So what happened was that I was talking to Tanny on the phone. This is about 2 hours before she turned up, okay? So 2 hours before the OT shows up from housing, I was talking to Tanny on the phone, and all I did was I just went yoink on my chair like that, and something in my back went crunch, and not in a great kind of crunch. This wasn't like where you crack your elbow and it's like an instant, holy crap, what was that? This was oh my God, I can't move. I literally cannot move. I can't stand. I can't do anything. What the hell is going on? So Tanny was like, well, you're going to have to ring the doctor or go to the hospital or something. I went, no, I can't do that. The OT will be here in 2 hours. And he goes, well, what can you do? And I went, I can walk like that. And literally I had to stand up from here and I was walking like that. And I have been for 2 days walking like that, bent at the waist, leaning forward. So that was fun. Thankfully, though, because she turned up in the middle of all this going on, she was able to see what happens when my physical health is not great. And she's very aware that I can't use any of my mobility equipment in here because the place is too small. So that has, number one, been written down. And she also noticed that I had a CPAP machine. She says, "Do you have sleep apnea?" And I said, "Yes." And it's obviously been diagnosed. And she said, "Where did you get that from?" And I went, "The sleep clinic at the hospital." And she's like, "Okay, well, did you have that before?" And I went, "No." And she's like, "So that's a new thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, you need 2 bedrooms then." I'm like, "What? We can have 2 bedrooms?" She said, "Yeah, because obviously you snore a lot. It's very difficult for your partner to sleep, and he needs his own room because he's still your carer." I went, "Well, yeah, he is my carer." She said, "How does that work though? Because he's working full time." And I said, "Well, I get up with him. We make sure that I've got everything that I need. On bad days, he helps me get dressed. He makes sure that I've got food available that I can just basically grab and go, or he'll put it somewhere where I can reach it. He will line up a whole heap of drinks for me. He will do a whole heap of stuff." And she said, "Well, is that what he did this morning?" I said, "Actually, no. That was his son who popped by in his lunch break about half an hour ago, and he stopped and came over and grabbed me a whole heap of drinks and fed the cat for me so that I didn't have to worry about that because I can't reach the floor." So she was like, "Ah, okay." Writing. Writing is good. So the upshot of it is this, okay? Because the OT has decided that our needs are not being met here, and even though we've been gold banded and waiting for 3 years to be moved, we are literally on the top now of the gold band list, which means that anything that comes up that is 2 bedrooms and preferably bungalow, doesn't necessarily have to be a bungalow, but which is a ground level apartment, or ground level little cottage type thing, we are shortlisted for. So that means that we could move anytime in the next few months. And that's a definite, that we will be moving in the next few months. So where does that leave us? Oh gosh, I don't know what to say. So basically, I still haven't planted my seeds out. I am starting to panic when it comes to that. Panic is not good, obviously. But I do, and I am panicking about it. I was hoping today, because I am feeling a bit better today. My back is stiff. What actually happened, because I'd had a doctor's appointment that was, I know I'm jumping all over the place this morning. This is, hi African Dreaming, how are you doing? So basically, I had a doctor's appointment that was booked yesterday, a week ago, which was great, because it came at the right time. He could check my back, and he said, "It's not your back." And I'm like, "Oh, phew." Because I've been warned that if my back goes again, that I will be facing surgery to basically put some scaffolding around it, like an old brick wall that won't hold itself up properly. That's the last thing that I want. Yeah, I am starting to feel so much better, darling. I really, really am. My back is still stiff. So basically what I did, that muscle that goes from your spine and attaches to your thigh, the tops of your thighs, your hips, I crunched those. I've twisted them, and they've they've just gone, no. So the other thing that I was able to talk to the OT about was my need to have a bath in the house rather than a shower, because of issues like this. And it's therapy. It gets the hot water straight into the muscle so that it can settle itself down very, very quickly. Whereas I can't get that same kind of therapy from the shower. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We're going to cross that bridge when we come to it. She said, we're not going to put it on the information for a house. We will look at it as it goes and see where we go from there, which is really, really kind of cool. So we got the two things that we desperately needed. Was one, we needed the extra bedroom, and they had to. She is the only person at the council who was able to say yes to that. So we've now been said yes to. For second bedroom, so that on the nights where Tanny feels that he can't sleep in the same room with me, he's got space that he can go and sleep and get the rest that he needs. Oh my God, I'm so filthy. I'm really sorry, guys. But I haven't been able to jump in the shower for a couple of days because it's been too dangerous. So yeah, I'm going to get Tanny to chuck me in the shower later on today when he gets home from work. But yeah, this is all like sources and things from the last. I'm not even really sure what it is. But I was putting some shopping away and cleaning out the fridge, so it's probably stuff from that. Yeah, let's just hide that. It is what it is, though, and stuff happens, and we're not gonna argue about it or anything like that. So I said to Tanny just before, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do the seeds, and he went, no, you're not. And I went, pardon? I said, I'm fine. I'm a little bit stiff, but I need to be able to move around. And he went, you're not doing the seeds today. And I was like, oh, what? And he said, if you do those seeds today, you and I will be having words. And I was like, yes, Dad. Rude. His biggest concern is that I will redo what I did and this time not be as quick to get over it. He's concerned that I will be on my butt for a month, which is not fun. Not a fun time to be had. Not really fun that I really want to have either, and he's aware of that. So he said on the weekend, and he has promised that the second he finishes work and he comes home, that we are going to get out in that garden and we're going to get the filming done and we're going to get the videos done for the garden, and I'm going to be able to do the things then, which is great. And he's also said that he's going to get the trees out of the polytunnel so that they can get out to be watered as well, which is fantastic. We have to pull up the beetroot that has been there over winter, that was planted this time last year. Okay, so we've been waiting for it to come up since this time last year. Now that is not an issue with the seeds or the growing of the beetroot. That's an issue with the compost that we've been forced to use recently. The non-peat green waste compost is so awful that it contains actually no nitrates at all. There's no nitrogen in it. It's so awful. So it's usually better if you've left it a year or two. Hi, back to nature. How you doing, darling? So yeah, but I have noticed this morning that a couple of the beetroot are actually running to seed now, so we may as well just pull it all out and use that compost, because since we're going to be having to move anyway, we may as well use it to fill up our containers and maybe put the trees sitting in those beds, so that they're not going to get knocked over as easily if there's a wind, because that area is a bit of a wind tunnel. So we're gonna that's the plan. That's my plan. Anyway, Tanny we'll probably just go along with it and be quite happy with that, which is awesome. So how you doing back to nature? You doing good, darling? So yeah, Tanya has absolutely promised that this weekend he's going to get out in the garden and help me, which is great. And I can't wait. I can't wait. And we've got a whole heap of grass clippings now because the council came 2 weeks ago, did our first mow of the year, and came last week and did some more mowing. And we've got all those grass clippings, and we can, either use them as mulch on top of the pots and containers and things, or mix them in with the soil as we put it into the pots with things, which will be awesome. Now I do have, I don't know if I've shown you guys already, but I have some more plants, and I will just I've got to go grab them because they're cute. Oh, hang on. Oh, glad to hear it, darling. I'm glad you're doing fine. Right, so now those of you who know me know that I'm not really a huge flower fan. I'm not that kind of gardener. I'm aware that flowers are needed to bring in the pollinators. I prefer to have things that have multi-purpose, so they're either medicinal or edible or all of the above. Okay, so if they tick the box of all of the above, that's really cool with me. So I have some little baby geraniums. Little baby geraniums that have arrived. And I'm so excited. Now, we're going to be keeping them. These I will be raising to be passed on and sold as bigger plants, along with a lot of the lavender. I also rang Sutton's actually to see what had happened with the rest of my order, because obviously these have arrived and they were ordered after the lavenders and a few veggie plug plants, and they said they will be here in the middle of May because they're waiting for the tumbling toms, which are behind. So it's like, fine then, that's okay, we can do this, we got this, we can wait. And because they're little plug plants, they're going to go straight in to their pots and they'll be fine. It'll be awesome. It'll be great. And I can't wait because it'll be great. So yeah, fun and games and fun. Yeah, so we have those to go in. I have to double check the rules on Gail's Southern Living's we're growing in a weird container challenge. I've actually got some weird containers. I found some weird containers. I was kind of hoping to maybe put those or 2 plants of the geraniums in these because I have 2 of them. Now my weird container, I can't tell you what my weird containers are, but they are recycled. They will be upcycled and recycled items. But if that doesn't work, what I will be doing is planting these in my weird containers instead. So if I'm not allowed to use pug plants and I have to use from seed, I will be doing the sweet peas in them. But if I can use the plug plants, then I will be putting a couple of the little geraniums in them, which I think is going to be adorable. And I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see what it is, because you're just going to like, what? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, we this year are not going to be able to really grow anything much that climbs. I know I just showed you the sweet peas, but the weird pot that I'm going to be using is going to be made in such a way that, you know, we can get away with moving that, but having too many trellisy type things is going to be awkward. So we have to be very, very careful this year of what we're growing, which puts paid to a few things. Now, every year I spoil myself and I want to add one extra thing that is a permanent fixture, and to my trees and bushes, etc. And this year I have ordered a Chilean guava, which is the little tiny red ones that look like berries. Where I used to live when I was a teenager we lived in New Zealand for a couple of years, and we had a hedge of them. Our hedge was made up of the Chilean guavas and the little yellow pear drop variety as well. We also had feijoas, and I am addicted. I'm addicted. But the thing is, I haven't been able to have them for years. So the fact that I'm actually getting my own Chilean guava bush, I am very, very excited about. And I've also managed to find feijoa, which is the pineapple guava, the little green one. It's about that size. It's really, really yummy, and I've been able to find seeds for that. So I'm going to be growing those as well. The other thing that I have to get stuck into is I have mango seeds that I'm going to be growing. I've already managed to germinate, propagate, whatever, 2 pistachio trees. So I have a male and a female pistachio trees that are now hardy to Yorkshire temperatures and Yorkshire climate. And they came from Iran. So I'm very excited about that, because if I can get those to grow, then I can get mangoes to grow, and I can get pretty much anything to grow as long as I look after it. And, you know, a lot of what I do is very experimental with a lot of things, because I'm used to growing a certain way from Australia. When we had some property in Australia, I grew a certain way there, and I want to try and incorporate that into what I'm doing here. The only way that I can do that, though, is a little bit here and a little bit there at the moment. But the fact that we have just acquired a brand new secondhand 8x12 greenhouse with the entire contents. So racking, potting tables, pots for years, gravel trays for years. One of those sowing, seed sowing and potting on boxes where you mix all your compost into the thing and just do the things. And you see quite a few of the gardeners with them. I've always wanted to get one. I never did. And one came with the greenhouse. So I'm like, yay. Tanny has said that if I ever say that I need more pots in the next 5 years, he might turn me into a veggie bed. So but honey, when we move, and I grow more than we need so that I can sell some and give some away. So I grow quite a lot of plants, and I germinate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants. And not because we need them all, not because we'll use them all, but 2/3 of what I grow gets either given away or sold. The money from the sales goes into buying more seeds, more compost, that kind of thing. So to be able to continue to give away what I'm doing. One of the things that I'll be doing with that this year is I will be, instead of using the pots that we have, because it did leave us quite short last year, is especially the 7-centimeter pots, we kind of ended up with very, very few. So what I've done is I've been saving all our toilet rolls, the inners, the little cardboard inners, and I'm going to be using those to and I have a year's worth. No, stop it. Everything's falling. Everything is falling. Oh my god. All right, just hold, please. Smoke if you got them. I'm just going to pick up my little geraniums because they all fell. Oh my god. It's all right, babies. Mummy got you. You need some more water, don't you? Oh god, did that? Oh, I think a couple of them aren't surviving, but that's okay. We got enough. We got this. So one of the reasons that I buy more plug plants that I need than I'm going to use myself of this size is so that I can grow them up to a size that you would buy in the shops, that people prefer to buy, and then I can sell them on. Which helps what we're doing, because the eventual thing is that we want to have a business where we are selling trees or edible trees, nuts, fruits, that kind of thing, and plants, etc. So having our own little kind of nursery, I guess, but mostly of edibles rather than just flowers. But these geraniums are actually edible. They're also used in herbal medicine as well. And I am a qualified herbalist, so I don't have a problem worrying about that. I might have just knocked those a little bit too far. I'll just put those in there. There we go. There you go. Now you got water. Right. Look, happy. Come on. We love you. So gonna have to put these somewhere safe, otherwise they're gonna get knocked over again, and I don't want that. Just put these on here, I think, for now. And oh my god, this is not good. It's a mess. Okay, stay, don't go anywhere. Right, so you gotta love it, right? So yeah, that's kind of what's going on at the moment. We will not be putting anything in the front bed. What we will be doing is we will be potting up. Hey JT, how you doing, darling? We're going to be digging up and potting up the herbs that are actually perennial herbs that are in that front bed. So we will be digging those up and putting them in bigger containers so that they are easily moved. We also have a gooseberry bush, which is down the side of the polytunnel, which is also going to be dug up and put in a bigger pot, ready for moving. We also need to split the raspberries because they have bent their pot. It was in a round blue trug, you know, the soft baskety type things that you sometimes give water to horses and stuff, take their food down with. We have a small one of those that we had the raspberries in, but they have bent it to an oval shape where it's like there's not enough room, so we're gonna have to cut it in half and put them in 2 pots, which will be great. I'm really looking forward to that. Very excited. I know I haven't done many videos and stuff out in the garden this year so far, and normally I would be out there already, but the weather has just not allowed me to do that, and my health this week has just not allowed me to do that. Probably a good thing, to be honest. So as much as I get overly excited and I want to do things and I want to do all of the things, I just haven't been able to do it. So, but that's okay. That's okay, because stuff happens, right? Stuff happens. It happens to all of us. Life happens, and you just got to roll with the punches, basically, and make it work for you. So we're making it work for us because, well, I'm making it work for me. So one of the things that we have to do before the greenhouse goes up is clean it. Now, there is a lot of moss and stuff that's in the aluminium framing that has to be cleaned off. Now, it's actually a really huge job, and I'm really quite pleased that we're not going to be putting it up, because we could be told in 2 months we're moving, and it will take us 2 days to put the greenhouse up. If Tanny really wanted to, he's already said I could get it done in a day. He said, but I don't want to have to spend a day or two taking it down again in 2 months' time if we're moving. So what we have said is this: if we are still here in September, we will be putting up the greenhouse, and it will be there for the trees to go into, to be overwintered, our fruit trees. That's what we've said, because obviously after September, the chances of us being moved in that time are slim to none, pretty much. So we will be, if we're not moved during the summer, which that's the higher time that we're going to end up being moved. So as I said, climbing things are going to be out. We can only grow bush tomatoes, basically. We're not going to be able to grow any of the big long viney ones, which really kind of sucks. I was really kind of looking forward to that. But it's cool. It's cool. We'll make do. We'll just make sure we have lots of bush tomatoes. Hey, David Corey. How you doing? So yeah, where was I? Yeah, so we're going to have to be doing the cleaning of the greenhouse and the glass and stuff first. And like I said, for me, it's going to be a very, very big job, because it's all full of moss, and it needs to be, bush tomatoes. Thanks, JT. Thanks, darling. I'm going to, oh, glad to hear it, David. How do I do this? How do I do it? Nope. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. What is going on? Aha, there we go. Right. Okay. I'm glad to hear it, David. Really, really glad to hear it, love. We're just going around with what's been going on and the effects and stuff of what that's going to mean for the garden, etc., this year and for us. So yeah, this weekend I will definitely be sowing seeds, because Tanny's going to help me. He's going to, like I said, he's going to be getting the fruit trees out of the polytunnel so that we have room to put them in. Our frost date is the 10th. Our last frost date is 10th of May, but we have known it to snow at the end of May as well. So we just need to be a little bit careful. But normally my seeds, because we don't have grow lights at home, because there's no room for us to put plants to start in the house, we have to wait till a couple of weeks before our last frost date to put anything out. And we've usually found that method works for us. We have had really awesome crops, etc., from that. And we're not really that worried, because we know that even though we put things in, we're putting things in a couple of weeks late this year, everything will catch up. So it's not that much of an issue. So yeah, there won't be any. We will be putting in cucumbers, even though that they are climbers, but they are the only climbers we'll be putting in unless we can get things in hanging baskets. So we have a few hanging baskets, but this year I want to get the strawberries in those, because it's going to be easier for us in the long run, just to pick those up and move them. The other thing I'll be doing is I'm going to be making some vertical hanging spaces with plastic bottles. Now these I'm going to be cutting the tops out of here and making them so it looks like a ladder. Eggplants can hang too, yeah. Yeah, you could put them in a thing like that, but I would prefer to have them in a container. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that so that it's hangable. So this will be like a ladder. So there'll be one here and another one sort of like that, and there will be rope in between, and these will be the containers that we put those in. Possibly how I'm going to do the beans this year. Maybe the peas, I don't know. We will have to wait and see. But it is going to be a hanging edible ladder kind of thing. And I might even talk to the neighbour, our upstairs neighbour, and see if he's got any plastic bottles that he wants to get rid of, because I'll be using those. The smaller ones that we have, this sort, the little plastic juice bottles, I'm going to be cutting these in half. I'm going to be putting holes in the bottom of this, and that's going to have holes in the bottom of that as well. This bit will be turned upside down and put in there, and that's how we're going to feed and water the tomatoes. This will be put in the container with the tomatoes, so that we're not watering on the leaves, in an effort to try and reduce the risk of blight this year, because as you guys know, we lost every single tomato plant last year just as they were coming into fruit, and we had hundreds of fruit, and yeah, they all went dead, and we did everything we could to try and stop it. And that's one of the things that causes blight, is a very humid, wet environment. They don't like being watered on their stems or their leaves. They don't like any of that. They need to have air around them. So that's why you see people clipping the leaves once they come into fruit, clipping the leaves off as much as possible and just leaving the fruit there, because they actually photosynthesize through their stems as well, which is enough. And then they can put the energy into the fruit rather than leaf growth. It's not an issue that I've actually had to deal with before. Where I used to live in Australia, I've never had that issue. Never had that issue before, but we had a lot of the trees in the polytunnel last year, and I used to walk in there. It was like a jungle. It was so humid and so much condensation every single day that I'm pretty sure that had a lot to do with it. So we're going to be working on making sure that the tomatoes can be outside this year, and we're going to be putting them on this wall here out the front, because it's a south-facing wall, and the sun comes over here from about midday until about 5 o'clock at night, and it's just full sun. This is an entire sun trap out here. Actually, it comes out at about 10 or 11, and then it's there until 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. But that is a complete sun trap, and it'd be perfect for them, really. So we're going to put them out the front. I have a couple of planters that I want to build this year. Whether I get to do that or not, Yeah, south facing is awesome. See, our back garden is north and our front is south. So the back out there is really good for things that need to have a bit more shade, that do better with a bit of shade, because it's around about lunchtime, you lose all sun out there. But it gets the early morning sun. And so it does, everything out there always does really, really well. It never overburns or anything like that. You never get any burn out there. You never get any of that. So we have quite a lot of things that do really, really well at the back, which is great. I'm just, at the moment, just feeling a little bit like, I feel like the horse that's still in the stocks and waiting to go. I'm waiting for the starter's pistol. And every time I think that I'm getting the starter's pistol, they put the brakes on. And I'm just like, oh, man, I've had quite enough of that. But I know I wanted to go out there and do the seed sowing this morning. But to be fair, Tanny's right. If I do go out there, the chances are that I am going to hurt myself again. And I could be on my butt for a month at that point, because the doctor even said to me yesterday when I saw him, you need to put your feet up. Keep moving, but you need to put your feet up. There's no lifting, carrying, or anything like that for more than 10 kilos for you, madam, for the next week. And I'm like, he said, go watch Star Wars. Take your pain meds, watch Star Wars. And I was like, oh, see, I knew I'd found the right doctor, you see, because he understood. He understands these things, And can I just say, for those of us who are, I'm going to do a little bit of that's what I do. Side note, May the 4th was yesterday, so May the 4th be with you. Today is Revenge of the 5th. Tomorrow is the 6th of May. But thanks to the Mandalorian, this is the May. So you know what that means, right? That means that I can start at the beginning and go and watch every single film and series made, all of them, even the animated ones, in chronological order. And then a mate of mine turned around and said, well, if you're going to do that, you have to do the fan cuts too. And I was like, oh. See, when did the first Star Wars came out? They came out in 1976, wasn't it? 76? Pretty sure it was 76. I was 2. So it's been quite a part of my life, like forever. So yeah, before you were out, shut up. It's okay, GT. I love you, darling. It's fine. You're just one of my bonus kids. I count you as one of my bonus kids. It's cool. Yeah, so all of that is fun and games and fun and all of that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's the plan. No, we're not going to be planting anything in that front bed this year. Nothing at all is going in that front bed. But the herb garden is going to be coming out and going into containers. And yeah, everything, absolutely everything we do this year is going to be in containers. So I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to be putting in. And I will go through what I'm going to put in. Because just because it's in containers doesn't mean you can't have all of the things. I'm going to be putting in some spinach. That's a definite. Always got to have spinach. I'm going to be putting in some spring onions, which are I think they're called green onions in the US. but they're definitely going in. Iceberg lettuce, that's going in. I have to go through my tomatoes and find out which ones are bush ones. That's not a bush one. I know that for a start. Money makers. They're not really a bush one either. They don't really tell you whether they are a determinant or an indeterminate, which kind of sucks, actually, because sometimes that's really kind of a necessary thing. And then I've got to remember. Who remembers this stuff? I don't think money makers. I think that's an indeterminate. So that one. These ones, they did grow quite tall, but not entirely really tall. And I think they could be determinate. I'm going to have to take a picture of this and make it bigger so I can read it, I think, just about. But again, these don't say whether they're determinate or indeterminate. But I'm going to try them. It says to put them in John Innes compost, number 1. But can I just say John Innes compost is absolute shite, and I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother. Yeah, nah. Okay. So those ones will be going in. All right. So those ones are a definite. These are the amateurs. Bush variety. Yay! We're getting those. We're getting these ones. We're putting those ones in. Okay. So it says January to April. It's only just May, so they can shush. They can shush. So yeah, they can go in. Yeah, so they're bush. Pretty sure that these tumbling toms are ideal for containers. There you go. So that's the one. Red cherries. Indeterminate. Nope. That's a no. This one doesn't tell you whether they're determinate or indeterminate. I think I'm going to leave that one because I haven't actually opened the packet. So I'm going to leave those ones for next year. Sunflowers. Can't be bothered. Going to put the marigolds in. They're going to go in. The cornflowers are going to go in. Now, sweet success. Oh, they're going to wait till next year. That's borage. That's going in. Those are going in. Now, just notice that I am not getting rid of any of my courgettes. They're all going in. All of them. All of them. All 6 of those. Oh, that's an open packet. So probably all 6 of those. I'm going to put this one aside because it's not open. Custard whites, they're going in. Patriot, they're going in. The mixed ones, they're going in. Radishes, they're going in because I want the pods this year. I want to do a lot of pickled pods. So they're going in. Oh, look, there's some more. They're going in. They're all open packets. So Saccamaria Burrito cucumbers, they're going in. The Market Moors, they're going in for Tanny. They're not going in for me. I can't stand them. They're just not for me. But he can have them because, you know, and I'm not going to not grow something. If Tanny says, I like that vegetable, I'm going to put half a bloody field of them out there because if that means he's going to eat a vegetable, then I'm going to grow it. I am. Right. Chard. I'm going to be putting that in. That's going in. This is kohlrabi. This is the green kohlrabi. They'll be going in containers. Nasturtiums are definitely going in. That's the globe artichokes. They're not going in until we move. We need to have, they need their own bed. They need their own space. They need to spread out. Whatever's in there, that's going in. Because that could either be, I don't know what's in there anymore. Cayenne chilies. Yeah, I'll just chuck them in. And look, at the worst thing, I'll just have to winter it. What a shame. Such a shame. Kale. Oh, black Tuscan kale. Yeah, that one's going in. Romescos, of course. Basil, of course. I'm going to start these. Now, for those of you who don't know what this is an Irish strawberry. They grow on trees. The trees reach about 50 foot. I know this because my parents had one. Now, I never thought that I would ever find a tree or anything. I had a look last year for seeds. I found them, and so I'm going to be propagating a few of those because I can. Beetroot. I'm not sure we're going to do beetroot this year. It does take up a lot of room, and as much as we can grow it in containers, it's a lot of room. See, a lot of the things that we grow in containers, because the containers that we use are 10-litre cut flower pots, we can only put one plant in each one, unless it's a small thing. Now, in one of those pots, I could probably put maybe 5 beetroot at a push. Yeah, I don't think so. Not this year. I'm going to do it next year when because you got no idea the plans, guys. Cauliflower, that's going in. Beetroot, it's not beetroot, it's broccoli. See, broccoli. Cavallo broccolo. It's Calabrese, basically. Brussels sprouts, they're going in. We're going to be putting in some of these little round carrots. They're going in containers. Now, they can go in containers quite happily, and I don't bother thinning them out. I don't, because I don't need to. We're not doing any of the spaghetti squash this year. That's not happening. And the zucca berrettina pumpkin squash, they're little ones. They're little. They're so cute. They're little. They're like this big. Can't do those either because they're a big, sprawly, viney thing. But it is what it is. What's this? Anahi chilies. Oh, okay. What's this? Broad beans. Now, I have got some broad beans in the back garden. They don't look to be doing that well. I'm not going to lie. They're not looking to do that well at the moment. I will be feeding the bed because I think it's the compost. Above all else, I think it's the compost. And that's not great. The compost is, like I've said before, it's absolute shite. So we're gonna look at that. Now these, I've put all of those ones that we're not doing this year in there. Oh God. Careful, Blue. Now, I was hoping to get these in this year, but I'm going to wait until next year for that. Don't know if you guys can read that. It's called a walking stick cabbage. Okay, now I need a proper bed to do those, and I was really worried about doing them in the front garden because of vandals. So I'm going to wait until we move to do those. Now, the walking stick cabbage is grown in Jersey, and it grows to, I don't know if they've said put it on here. Doesn't say. I think all the information's on the website. These grow to around 25 feet. And you get a little, it's all stem, except for a little cabbage on the top. Now, they're called walking stick cabbages because the stem is actually used to make walking sticks with. They actually dry out the stems and they treat them and they're made into walking sticks. My grandmother, my Nana Lucy, used to have them. They look like if child aspired to be palm trees. Yes, pretty much. But when I was a kid, when I was little, my parents took me to Jersey, and these were the days that there was a show called Bergerac, and Mum she wanted to see all of the places that they filmed it, and we just happened to walk into him in the middle of the market, and my mum was quite excited. So, you know, I just wanted to see these cabbages on stalks because I couldn't get my head around it, because my Nana Lucy picked up a walking stick, and this walking stick happened to be made from these cabbages. So I don't know where her walking stick has gone over the years. I couldn't tell you, okay? But I would like to make a couple of walking sticks out of these cabbages, these cabbage stalks. So that's why I've got the seeds. I've found the seeds. I'm going to be growing those. So I'm pretty sure that's all we're going to be growing this year. Oh, no, it's not. Shush. Take it all back. Take it back. I think we were going to do some romaine. We've got some dill, gherkin pickles. Are we doing those this year? Does it say how big they get? They do climb. That's the thing. They do climb, and we already have to grow cucumbers, which could be difficult to move. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I could work out some kind of trellising system to go in each pot. I don't know. We'll work it out. It'll be somehow. No, I'm going to do those next year. Fennel next year. Parsley this year. Queensland blue pumpkin next year. Hollyhocks next year. Rocket always. Garlic chives now. Basil now. Cowslips next year. Marigolds and marigolds. These are the French. These are the African. We're going to do those now. Not doing the strawberry corn. Beans, can't do the beans. No, not those chilies. That's more beetroot. What have I got? Oh my God, I've got so many things. I've got all the things. Now I've got skirret and I've got licorice. I'm going to try the skirret this year. Because I can do that in containers. I can do the licorice in containers, but I'd rather have it within my herb garden that I set up when we move. So that's going to go in there. Runner beans, no. What is this? Where's this one? Lobelia. Those seeds? Seriously? Those, can you see those? Can you guys actually see them? They are tiny. Oh no, I'm going to do those when we move because that's ridiculous. Now they look like either a very small tomato or, yeah, I know, barely, right? Yeah, they're less than a mil. They're less than a millimeter. They look like either some kind of tomato or some kind of chili. And mystery seeds can wait until next year. Okay, mystery seeds can wait until next year. That's all I'm saying about that. Right, what have we got in here? herbs. The loofah are in there too, because again, we haven't done them yet. Mystery seeds. So, coriander, mint, no, curly parsley, lettuce, mesclun, rocket. We've got enough lettuce out. See, we're not big fans of soft leaf lettuce. I'm certainly not a fan of soft leaf lettuce. I'm going to be honest with you there. Probably because during the 90s and early 2000s, everything that we used to serve as chefs was served with soft leaf lettuces, you know, like mesclun mixes and stuff. And it's like, I'm so over it. Not going to lie. And I'm not the one who's fussy when it comes to veg. I'm going to put these all in here because this is the we are not growing this tin this year. Okay. That's the we are not going to grow that this year tin. Now, what's this one? Stocks and green. Oh, my God. Here we go. Wild garlic. That's got to wait until we move. So I've got seeds for wild garlic. As much as I love to forage, and I love foraging, okay? It's one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world is wander around and go foraging. My health, to be honest, though, is touch and go when being able to go out and do the foraging anymore. So I'm going to start growing the wild food and wild plants that I love to go and forage, because then I can have them in the garden. And if I can't get out, I can get to the garden. So I'm going to start doing that. Also, it means that I'm not helping to over harvest the wild food, which since lockdown started in 2020, there's been a lot of people going foraging and grabbing things and stuff, which is great, but they don't really follow the rules either, which is not great. And the rules of foraging are you take only what you need, not what you want. You only take 1 out of 4 of what's on the bush, because you have to leave some for others, leave some for the tree or the bush or whatever, and you leave some for the animals because they got to eat too. They've got to eat too, and they rely on these plants to eat. But I've noticed that the last couple of years there's been a lot of strip foraging, which is not okay, and I don't want to help with that, I'm afraid. So, okay, now there's more seeds in here. They're everywhere. I actually have to grow these. These are for the Transatlantic Melon Challenge. They're the sugar baby seeds. Sugar baby watermelons. I'm going to get those in. I don't know. Can you read it? Can you read it? Can you read it? Is it gonna come? It's not gonna. Okay. So yeah, I got the sugar babies. I'm going to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I get a golf ball sized watermelon. Oh, how adorable would that be? Like that size. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Right, these are going in. There. Okay, so that's those. What's this one over here? I have more. Oh my God. What in the what? Oh. These are my Nikki's Nursery ones. They have to be grown. They have to be grown. Bush variety. Heinz tomatoes are a bush variety. They got to be grown. Primroses, nope. Soapwort, no. Mallow, no. Pineapple guavas, that's it. The feijoa seeds, yep. Sorrel, yes. Basil. I've got some basil seeds in there. These are specifically grown. This is herb basil puck. The variety is called puck. Now, they're specifically grown for growing on windowsills or in pots. So we're going to grow those. More sorrel, more lovage, feverfew, and coriander. I don't know if I want to do that one yet, but I'm definitely doing the lovage. The feverfew I want to put in my permanent herb garden. It'll be going in my medicinal garden. I'm going to be starting to have a lot more medicinal plants that go into the garden soon. But yeah, some of those I want to grow as well because they're part of a project that I'm doing with somebody, which you guys will get to see in the winter. So you're going to have to look out for it because it's a collaborated special series. What's that? Sippy bags. Don't need those. What else I got? Right, now we've got to go through these. So we're not doing too badly, just quietly. It's not like we don't have things to grow, okay? It's not like we don't have stuff to grow. We've got lots to grow. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things in here that I won't be growing. Rare herb collection. Claytonia, corn salad, basil neapolitano, rocket. Yeah, they can wait. They're pretty much the same, more doubles up, so I don't really need to grow those. Now, there's some in here. There's some in here. Here. I need to look at. Now, these are the Kentucky Wonder Wax beans. They're going to have to wait till next year. Ooh. Red Belotti beans. Again, wait till next year. These are giant Greek gigantes. Okay. Or otherwise known as butter beans. Okay. I love these things. Now, they were saved from Save Seed from a friend of mine. And I'm going to grow those when we move because I don't want them to be a mess. Okay, so they're going to be grown next year. I've got romesco seeds. We're not doing beetroot or butternut squash because that goes mental. We used to grow it in Australia. I had a veg bed, okay, that was built around my compost bin compost heap for the kitchen scraps. So anything like the grass clippings and all of that and the kitchen scraps all used to go on this heap. Well, every year I used to pull it, turn it, and everything used to go across this whole entire bed. And that's all we did to it. We didn't actually put any plants in it. But every year we would, in the summer, end up with so many cherry tomatoes, we didn't know what to do with them all. I had enough that I had 2 fly screen doors, you know, the screen doors, 2 old ones that I'd put out in the garden on trestles, and I would cut the cherry tomatoes in half, and they would be sitting literally touching each other, just off touching each other over these 2 screen doors, and I would have sunblush tomatoes for the rest of the year. And we would get a 3-litre ice cream container, you know, the big box one, right? And we would get that filled every day for 2.5 months, every single day. And the kids would still go out there and just munch on them whenever they felt like it. And they just kept coming back every year. And then once they were done, the butternut squash had come through, And they would literally take over the bed from the tomatoes. Is a lot of tomatoes. It's huge. And I didn't do anything. I didn't prune them. I didn't touch them. I didn't water them. I let them do their own thing in their own time and just let them run amok. You know, we had so many. The same thing happened with the butternut pumpkins, because they used to take over that bed and they'd go through the fence to the next door neighbor. And I said to the neighbor at one point, because she used to come round and say, some of your pumpkins are in our garden. And I'd say to her, whatever's in there, that's all yours. Okay. There was 1 year that we had, 2 years while we were living there, that we had enough butternut pumpkins to have two a week for a year. And our next door neighbors had enough for one a week for the whole year. So that was what? There's 52 weeks in a year. Yeah. So we had nearly, 52. So that's 156 and then some. And then some, because I was giving some away as well of the butternut pumpkins. And they were good size. Like some of them were this size. They were really, really good sized. And they were big, fat ones too. It was really awesome. But I had one son that was absolutely addicted to pumpkin. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, if a kid is addicted to a vegetable, it's not a bad thing, and you encourage it and you grow it. Watercress. I am going to save those seeds. Now, I'm going to save these because I want to have a pond in our garden that has edibles in it, and the watercress will be perfect in there. Tree spinach. Again, I'm going to leave this one for next year. Lovage, I've already got a lovage in there. Confetti coriander. That's the one with the really little spiky leaves. I don't know. Can you see that? Yeah, so I might actually try that one. Got basil, got thyme, got dill, lemon balm we've got in the polytunnel, flat leaf parsley, mint we've got, coriander we've got, more basil, chives. You could never have too many chives. That's not a possibility. It's not a possibility, I'm afraid. So that's those. What else have we got in this bag? Right. No, and no. That was quick, wasn't it? Oh, these are root vegetables. Parsnip, carrots, swede, carrots, and turnip. Hey, Linda, how you doing, beautiful? It's good to see you. Sapphires, diamonds, and pearls in the house. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be growing those this year either, because no, it takes up too much room in the containers. I'm so glad that you're good, darling. Dwarf French beans. Dwarf ones are bush beans, by the way. Dwarf bean. Yep. Peas, petit pois. Can't do those. Can't do those. Pea ambassador. Can't do those. Big crops. That's a Lady Di stringless. Can't. Not this year. Polestar. Stringless. Nope. I will be putting in some soybeans though as well, from the pantry. I'm going to be doing some more pantry beans this year. So I'll be doing some chickpeas, some soybeans and all of that kind of thing. They'll be happening as well. What have I got in here? more. Beetroot, carrots, chard, lettuce, radishes, and rocket. I've got more rocket than I know what to do. Redoing my entire pantry, resetting my kitchen. 2-week process. Oh my God. Good Lord, honey. Right, so we said no to the petit pois, didn't we? Yes. What do I make with soybeans? I make my own milk. I make my own my own tofu. I make my own flour. I make my own tempeh. I pretty much do everything with it. I also use them just as a bean, as an equivalent bean in casseroles and stuff. So, or stews and that kind of thing. They also make a really good version of hummus once they're cooked down, but they're really, really cheap to buy. Now, I know people get really worried about the whole GMO thing with the soybeans and stuff like that, but can I just say that it's illegal to sell GMO products that are for human use. Okay, so hey Scotty, how you doing, darling? Yay, grab the kettle. Absolutely grab the kettle, darling. So yeah, buying my own soybeans, as long as they're organic, I know that they're GMO free, because you can't sell pure beans that are GMO to the public for just use as a bean. It's not allowed. That doesn't matter whether you're in the US, it doesn't matter if you're in Europe, it doesn't matter if you're in the UK or Australia. It's actually not permitted. They're only permitted for use for animal feed and for processed foods that aren't going to be used as the bean itself. Good thing, Pam. I hope you and Blue fam well and chat. Yes, as long as I don't move too quick, I'm fine, darling. I crunched myself. I crunched myself a couple of days ago, so I'm still recovering. But yeah, so as long as I don't move too quick, I'm all good. But I'm just going through my seeds because I'm going to do a huge seed sowing session this weekend. I was hoping to get started to this morning, but I've been under orders from Tanny not to do that. He put his daddy voice on, and I kind of went, yes, Dad. He said, if you do that this morning, you hurt yourself, I'm not helping you. So I was like, okay. I promise to be good and not do the things. So yeah, we've got a really good selection here, I think, of bush beans, bush tomatoes, determinate tomatoes, courgettes and greens and everything, I think, to get the garden going, including herbs and all of that kind of thing. How's the weather there? Honey, there's blue sky out there and I'm stuck inside. I'm stuck inside. To be fair, if the cast were on the other foot, you'd be using your daddy voice on Tanny too. Yeah, I would be using my daddy voice because my mummy voice is just like, oh, there. Suck it up, buttercup. Put some dirt on it. Yeah, yeah, it would be my daddy voice, not my mummy voice. Some dirt on it. Yeah, so yeah, I would be using my daddy voice, and I have done. He did his back last year, and I did make him sit on the couch. He was not allowed to move. He wasn't allowed to move. And yeah, I did everything I possibly could for him. So yeah, he's doing the same. I don't have a cast on. Okay. What I've done is I actually thought that I'd well and truly screwed my back. But I didn't. When I saw the doctor yesterday, he's discovered that, the muscle that goes from your spine round to your thigh, okay, that it goes underneath at the back and then goes round to your thigh and holds your legs in place, pointing forwards and etc. Yeah, I crunched those. All I did was wriggle in my seat. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to do it again. But yeah, I wriggled in my seat, and there was a crunching noise that Tanny heard on the other end of the phone. It was that loud. It was absolutely terrifying, incredibly painful. And Tanny was like, "Do I need to come home?" And I said, No, don't come home. Please don't come home. I will do what I can. Yeah, the crunch. It sounded yeah, it did sound like crunching bones. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like crunching bones. But so I was terrified that my back had gone again, because I've been warned that if my back does go again, that I will be facing surgery. And I don't want surgery because I don't want scaffolding in my back. And that's literally what I'd be looking at, is having scaffolding put in my back. So let's not do that, which is partly why I didn't see the doctor straight away. But like I said, it did work in our favour, because the OT from housing was coming around 2 hours after I did it. And she could see the fact that this place is not suitable for someone with mobility issues, especially not on a good day like this, like it was. And so we've been upgraded, and she said that we need a 2-bedroom place. And so all of the things, it just kind of all fell into place. And the doctor was really awesome. And he said, "How are you even walking?" Because I'm actually walking like this at the moment. This is my waist, and I'm walking like that. I'm walking like that. This is the rest of my body. Yeah, just from a wiggle. Just from a wiggle. But to be fair, okay, I don't think it was just from a wiggle. I think what it was the culmination of 2 days of packing up and transporting a 8x12 greenhouse and all of its contents to here the weekend, not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before, and doing that, and all of the other things combined within that, and then putting away the shopping that was all on the floor, and doing a few other things. So I think my back just went, "Will you just stop?" Just stop. As I am kind of, the stubborn variety. So yeah, the wriggle was the last straw that broke my back. So yeah. So, well, yeah. So to be honest, I'm just pleased it wasn't my back, because it could be a lot worse. But this morning I did, and I've been sleeping. Tanny, bless him, bless his heart, he grabbed all the pillows off here except for that one. All right. So all the pillows that we have on the couch are now on the bed. So I could sleep upright, and he put my body pillow in front of them. And he got me into bed, and then so the ends of the body pillow could go underneath my knees, so I could sit in a comfortable position to sleep, and then put a pillow behind my back as well. So the last couple of nights I've been sleeping upright. Yeah, I did too much without proper rest period, but it's what I do. Your head's working well. Well, So yeah, Tanny's been amazing. He has been amazing. And he's been ringing me like, yesterday he was ringing me. He rang me yesterday. Every half hour he was ringing me in between his drops at work. So if he had a drop, all the time that he was driving between the drop, he would ring me. And depending on whether his son got home first from the morning drops or morning deliveries, or he sent his son round to bring me drinks and line up everything, and so that I could get it, and then fed the cat at lunchtime because I couldn't reach her bowl, obviously. So that's very, very sweet of them both, actually. So they've been really, really lovely. And yeah, but I can get up and move myself around now, and I'm not scared of picking the kettle up anymore, which is a big thing. Yeah, that's what I do. She said, well, stop. Yes. Yeah. We all do it. And if we know that we've got to get things done, we tend to go and get these things done. We just, Oh, thanks, JT. It's appreciated, darling. It's very sweet of you. So, yeah. So, as much as last week was supposed to be seed sowing week, but then the temperatures dropped down and made it impossible for me to go outside because it was below 7 degrees all week last week. It was really, really cold, which again would not have helped. But yeah, so I wanted to go out and do the seeds this morning, as you guys know, but I'm not allowed. But Tanny's going to help me on the weekend. We're going to get everything moved and get a load of these all sown, put in, and we're just going to go for it, because you know what? At the end of the day, plants want to grow, and a couple of weeks here and there isn't going to make a huge amount of difference. The tomatoes that I plant on the weekend will grow, and we will get fruit from them. And that will probably be towards the end of the season, but we'll still get them. And so it's still worth doing. It's still worth doing, the beans will go in, they'll be fine. Yeah, my body did say that. It did, Linda, it did. So everything will go in this weekend. I've got Tanny's help to do it. It just is what it is. But because now that the OT has said that we have to move, we're looking that we will have to move in 2 to 3 months, probably. That'll the longest we'll have to wait is 6 months, I would imagine. But I can see it happening within the next 2 to 3. So everything has to be in containers, everything. And that means very few climbers. The cucumbers we will have to deal with, because I'm not having my cucumbers. Not. You got to send me that package? I will talk to you later, honey. I will talk to you on Discord later on. So, yeah, so like I said, the front bed's not going to be used. Everything's going in pots this year. I so enjoy seeing you outside with your soil dirt in pots. I know. And I also have is that it? Yeah. I actually have some of this stuff. Now this is called Super Soil, and it is incredible. It is full of micronutrients and all of the good stuff that you need. This amount here, which is 5 grams, will do, in the next 2 to 3 months, probably, Linda. Yeah. Because the OT came in and went, no, you're not living here anymore. That's not okay. This is enough to do a 20th of an acre. A 20th of an acre. All right. Blue pixie dust. I didn't make it. It's actually created in Ireland. You're giving away some more soon? Aww. So I'm actually going to add this to the soil that we have in the big beds, and so that it will help, because we've discovered that the compost that is now available, that they've been selling, that is non-peat, there's no peat in it. Very few views at most, so tune will be a very high chance. Oh, bless ya. You're not allowed to tell me that. Oh. We're actually planning on getting a pouch, like a full kilo pouch. Now, a full kilo pouch is about 50 quid. It's about 50 pounds. But a whole pouch does an entire acre and more. So, I mean, like, we don't have, like, an acre of land. And we won't have an acre of land for a few years yet. But it does mean that we can, you know, start amending our soil in a different way, that it can add all the nutrients that the shop bought compost doesn't have. We're so calling it pixie dust. It sounds lovely. You can win that hold back buying. Oh, honey. That's very sweet of you guys. If you're not watching Scotty, you really need to go and watch him. Go and subscribe to his channel. He's got a beautiful property that he's just building up in Ireland, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible what he's done in the last 12 months. I just like blows my mind. Yeah. Hi, Dawny. Hi, Dawny. How you doing, sweetheart? Want to add to my list? What time GMT did this start? I just popped on at 8 o'clock this morning because I wanted to do something, and it was just a pop on. Normally, if I do a live like this, which is just a chat live, it will be the second Monday of the month. And I will start at 3 in the afternoon. I don't normally do a morning one at all, because normally I'm just not on my feet, really. But I just really wanted to, because I know that I haven't been putting out many videos. I wanted to explain what had been going on, and I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be planting this weekend, because it's seed sowing week. Oh, thanks, JT. Yeah, guys, go and follow Scotty, because he's awesome. He really, really is. And he's got so much knowledge, and what he's doing is incredible. You need to go and see. Absolutely. If you could learn how to use every inch of space you possibly can on a normal, like, front and back garden, this is the guy to watch, because seriously, he's got every inch of space covered. And what he doesn't know about micronutrients and liquid feeds and all that kind of composting and worm farming and all of that kind of stuff isn't worth knowing, because seriously, he is that good. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, go give him a follow and some love. But yeah, so the only climbers we've got this year will be the cucumbers, and I'm going to have to find a way of trellising those in a container. Now I'm thinking, you see the green totes behind me on the shelf, right? The shelf right there. I'm thinking of maybe putting a couple of plants in those and just building a trellis at the back for the cucumbers, some kind of tall trellisy kind of construction. Because if I put them in the polytunnel and they're on the strings that are across the roof and stuff, it's going to be really hard to get them off to move. So I'm thinking that might be a better option. If I put them in those kind of totes at the back, rather than the 10 litre containers that I normally have them in. And I normally have like one cucumber plant to a... That would work fine if trellis is stable. Yeah. Yeah. Got cut off. Oh, bless you. Just figured out. Just got cut off there. Sorry. No, it's all right, darling. It's fine. It's fine, darling. Just figured out why you couldn't sleep. Oh, no. Why you can't sleep? Miss Linda. So, yeah, I'm thinking if I could probably fit 3 plants in one of those, because that's a 30 litre tub, right? Because I would have missed the life. Oh, bless your heart. Oh, bless you. Oh, honey. It's really sweet. So, yeah, if I use those and work out a trellising system on those, I've got old frame pieces from the old polytunnels that I could put together as the side pieces and then string in between and do it that way, because I reckon that could work. Because I could make them so that they're about 5 foot tall, 4 or 5 feet, and that would be enough, wouldn't it? And then I got to work it out. I've got to work it out. It's because that way it could be lifted and moved, and it's not too heavy to lift, and we could put it on the parcel truck really easily, I think. So that wouldn't be too hard. So if I have, yeah, because they do, I mean, they grow to what, 6 or 7 feet, maybe. So as long as I've got the trellis is about 6 foot tall. Yeah, an old gate is great to make an old trellis with, darling, but it's not exactly practical for container gardening when you've got to move. So I'm trying to figure out ways that I can do it so that we can move it so that it can be moved with us. But yeah, old gates, they're great trellis. Love old gates for trellis. We've got quite a few little old things that are running around the place. Yeah, my dad uses string. I've got loads of string, and that's what we had them on last year, because we were using the framework of the polytunnel, which is great. It weaves a web like a spider. Yeah, exactly. And as long as we've got the stability of some kind of framework on the outsides, I think it should be fine. So I might actually, I'll see what framework we've got left of the old polytunnels, and see if I can do that, and then do a web trellis in between for the stability. I need to make a mini greenhouse on my patio. Any suggestions? Ooh. How about it, Miss Linda? This is a good one, right? Okay. If you need to make a mini greenhouse on your patio, how about you look on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that for secondhand windows people are chucking away, and then you can actually put them together how you want them. Especially if they've got wooden frames on, or you could even, put the wooden framing around it yourself. It's possible. It could work. But yeah, Scotty should have some ideas too. But yeah. If against a wall, attach children's hoops to the walls. Pretty when not being used as trellis, but perhaps you can't attach to wall of shared building. We can't do that here yet. Not while we're here. We sing off the same hymn sheet. Yeah, we kind of do. Yeah, my first suggestion would always be secondhand windows. If you can get windows that people are chucking out, yeah, grab them. Grab them. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that you can get recycled, seriously, is, a boon. All the wood that we have for building the raised beds when we move is all secondhand decking that people have been getting rid of when they're getting the decking either gotten rid of or replacing it. So yes, there isn't as much life left in it, but it still has enough life because we went through it and picked the best bits so that we can have some really good raised beds when we move. And we're going to put them 3 high. So it's going to be quite a nice sort of level of bed for use. So I'm looking forward to that, definitely. But that didn't cost us anything except for petrol to go and pick them up. And they happened to be around the corner from where we lived. And they were giving them away for nothing. People don't want to spend money on skips when they're doing DIY shop jobs at home. And it's a really good time at this time of the year during the summer, spring and summer. People are wanting to get as much DIY stuff done as possible, especially if it's outside. So you'll find them getting rid of things like flagstones, paving stones, rocks, windows. Windows are always done in some summer if possible, unless it's council, because council won't do it until the winter. Don't ask me why, but that's what they do. Old travel cots, yeah, bases are net-like and great to lay on new seated beds. Absolutely. Even an old wooden cot, the sides are great for trellising, etc. Yeah, they're fantastic. You just use them for anything. But I mean, it's up to you what you want to use, what you want to get. We haven't super soil. Let me just have a look. I've just got to find the website. Super soil. Here we go. Is it the real soil? Super soil. No. Gotta go. All right, darling. Take it easy, sweetheart. Have a really, really awesome rest of your day. Hey. Mwah. Big loves. Micronutrients. Yeah, there is. I'm just trying to find the actual website for it. Super soil. Ireland. I'm just going to look it up because it's super soil Ireland. Okay. Aha. Right. So this is, I'm going to put in the paste. This is the link for the super soil. All right. This is where you're going to get all your information about the super soil. Watch it. Watch the video. Read all about it, because this stuff is absolutely incredible. Okay. And as much as it may look like it's very expensive, a little goes incredibly far. It goes a very, 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 very long way. Okay. And the longer it's in the soil for, the more it does the work. So it's something that is probably a really good idea to put in the autumn or the fall, wherever you are, so that you can let it sit there over the winter and do its job. Okay. So in the spring, you'll count it. And honestly, I've had a couple of friends that have gone and done experiments on this. I'll see if I can find Diggy's. Thanks, Donnie. Just got to find. Right. Okay. So my friend Steve, he loves this stuff as well. Now I'm going to see if I can find it. Okay. Let me just. This one was the one that I've got to show you first, actually, because. All right. Paste. Now, if you want to know more about what is going on here, Steve actually decided to do a compost trial on a bunch of different composts, and one of them came up that was horrific, as in couple of weeks down the track, one of the plants was this big, and the stuff in the ambassador, the other compost, hadn't even bothered showing its head yet, or if it did, it had a like tiny. So he decided to test this compost, which was absolutely awful, do a soil test on it and see if the super soil would help. Oh, pardon me. Now, he did, and he had it in there for a good couple of weeks. I think he went as far as a month with it, but it actually started to show that it showed that the first soil test showed that this compost that he'd bought, and he'd used the stuff straight out of the bag. It wasn't stuff that had been sitting there or hadn't been tampered with. He tried it out, and got it. It showed that there were no nutrients. There was no nitrogen in it at all. Yeah, so you're basically getting a bag of garbage. So what he's done is he's tried to, he's tried the super soil on it, and he could see that a couple of weeks later, actually, that there was actually it was starting to amend the soil, and you could see that there was a low to medium amount of nitrogen back in the soil, which wasn't there before. I'm behind in the live now, as just went and put homemade pizza in the oven and backtracked so as not to miss anything. Oh, darling. Bless your heart. That's so sweet. That's so sweet, darling. It's okay. I'm actually going to have to go shortly, guys, because it's Blue and Perkle Day. So my sister Perkle and I tend to have a chat together and talk for hours on Thursdays, and we do little jobs that we can do at the desk, like peel veg and stuff like that when we're talking to each other, or fold the washing, the kind of stuff that you do when you're best mates. And because we used to live around the corner from each other, and that was literally what we'd do. We'd spend the day together, and we'd bring our jobs with us. or we'd just hang out together and watch TV. And it was because we literally lived in and out of each other's pockets. So, that's what we do. And this was a pop-up live. It wasn't something that I was expecting to do today either, but it was just like, I just felt like it was important that I actually get in touch with you guys and say, this is what's been happening. This is why there haven't been any videos except for the taste testings. Sorry about that. And the unboxings, because it's been too cold. I haven't been well enough, and things are going to get back on point this weekend. So, yeah, that's kind of the way it was going to go. So, yeah, when I will be showing you more of the greenhouse, because if you haven't been on Instagram, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably won't have seen it unless you're either in the Facebook group or on Instagram. You may not have seen what's been going on with the greenhouse. So yeah, like I said, it's a big job, and the fact that we're not going to put it up until we move, unless we haven't been moved by September, October, gives us time to clean it and get it in good condition. We've bought new clips, new greenhouse screws. We've bought new all of the things for it, so that, because a lot of them were all rusted, but that's okay. There's a couple of panes that need to be replaced, but there's a guy in town that does greenhouse glass for £7. So, and he snaps it in half, and then you've got two for £7. So that's not a lot of money, really. And considering it's such a beautiful greenhouse, I mean, we just, it is awesome. It is really, really cool. So, yeah, but we're getting there. And I just partly wanted to do this as well because I know that there's people out there that are like, but I can't get anything out yet. I haven't got grow lights. I haven't got this. I haven't got that. And you know what? We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. You don't have to have the grown lights. You don't have to have half your house taken over by indoor plants if you can't do it. You guys know that window is the only usable window we have here. Okay. And the cat will eat them all. So we just can't. Okay, sweetie, I'm going to start moving stuff around the kitchen. Love and hugs. Okay, honey. So I'm actually going to wrap this up right now, guys, because, it's been so much fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. But I really kind of need to go and pee. I wasn't expecting to be on this long. But it's been great fun. And I love you guys heaps. I really, 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 really do. Yeah. I love the relationship that we have as well. It's perfect. It's perfect. Because how could you not want, that's the kind of friendship you should have. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I really, really do appreciate that you hung out with me this morning. It was great to catch up with you guys too. And I will see you. I will be doing a live tomorrow. We'll be doing our budgeting live, and it will be live at 1 p.m. UK time. So that's BST. Got to research this blue pixie dust. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So our budgeting live tomorrow is on the kitchen. It's about setting up your kitchen and pantry on a budget, and that's what we're going to look at tomorrow, because I know it kind of does get a little bit intense for some people sometimes, especially if they're just starting out. They don't want to they can't spend a lot of money, and at the moment things are very expensive. So I want to show people how that they can do that on a budget over time, to be and what the kind of places to look as well, for things that they don't really think about. So that's tomorrow. That's at 1 p.m. BST, which is British summertime. And I will put I'll put a scheduling link for that up this afternoon. And yeah, so that you guys can find it before it happens. Yeah, and I will see you guys then. I love you guys so very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I've really, really appreciated it. It's been great fun, and you've given me such a warm hug today. I've really appreciated it and needed it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I love you guys heaps. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Blessings. Mwah.